Hi guys, and welcome to World of Warcraft with Buddy 1927. In this episode, we're not going to play with Buddy Pally. This episode is I'm going to show you how I make gold in World of Warcraft. Now, it does take work to actually make gold, and you need an economist to do it. Okay? Now, Buddy Pally is going to be we're showing you how I'm leveling up a paladin. And one thing I need to do is, he's in his own private guild, but he's going to need supplies out of that guild. So I will be doing a tune that all my tunes that I have extra are going to have. I need every profession covered in World of Warcraft, because once I get Buddy Pally to level 60. Because his current professions are mining and blacksmithing. And the reason why I have him doing mining right now is because two things. First thing is, with the mining, he gets a buff called toughness, which actually gives him some more stamina. And the second reason is because every time he mines, he actually gets experience from it. So I might, at level 60, I might swap that out to jewelry crafting, or I might wait until level 90, or 80, or 85. Sorry, guys. Or I might wait until he's level 90 before I drop mining and go into jewelry crafting, because blacksmithing allows you to add extra slots to gears. When you get to a certain level in blacksmithing, you can add extra slots to certain select gears. And with jewelry crafting, you can craft special gems that only can be carried by jewelry crafters, and you have to be a certain level jewelry crafter to be able to carry those gems. So if I get Buddy Pally leveled up all the way to level 90, and he's maxed out, his blacksmithing, I can have him drop his mining, because I have a miner, a level 88 right now miner, that can mine all the ore and smelt the bars and everything for his blacksmithing, or the ores that he needs to help power level his jewelry crafting, so I can get him up to level 90. And that way he can make those special gems. And then that farmer will end up farming the ore that is needed for his blacksmithing and jewelry crafting and so on. But before you do anything, my suggestion is always to have a banker tune. And this is my banker tune here, Betty Bank. Now, she is a human, and I did start her off at level 1, and I kept her level 1 for quite a while. I started her off in the human stage, so all she had to do is run over from the starting area to Stormwind, and she made it without getting attacked. And she started up at level 1 as a banker tune. She didn't do any quests. Well, I kind of started getting her played a little bit more, but I was able to put her in her own guild. And the reason why I have her in her own guild is because she has now a guild bank. Now this is one of the tunes I've had when I was playing on this server before I was before I quit the game. So she already had this guild, and it had 6 slots, 6 guild slots. So she can hold a lot of stuff. Plus, she can also hold gold. There's a limit of how much gold a character can hold, and there's a limit how much a guild bank can hold. So I can max out this guild bank here, and also max out her gold here. And I've actually done this on another server, where she's actually maxed out both. And I've had to send gold to other tunes just so she can keep collecting gold from the auction house. And the reason why you want one tune is that way you know where all your gold is. Now your other tunes will have other gold, but I mean she checks the mailbox every day. Here's one. She just made 2 gold. But I have her twice a day scan the auction house, once in the morning and once in the evening. And while scanning the auction house, you can take a look at certain items that you want to take a look at. This is her current auctions that she currently has on here, and she has quite a few. Have some extra stuff I've had in some other guilds, and I'm just turning around and selling them, try to build up her gold a little bit more. But she can also scan the auction house, look for certain items that she knows will sell, and see if they are at a different price, lower than what the average value of it is in the auction house. I'll give you an example. She found wool for 20 cents a piece, 20 copper a piece, and they sell regularly in the auction house for 1 gold. So there was 100 of them. She bought all 100 of them up. She put them in her bank, and then slowly started selling them back in stacks. I think she has stacks of 5s. Is what she sold them in. So she'll take 20, sell them in 4 stacks of 5. So that'd be 5 gold each, and she's made nothing but pure profit. So this banker tune has its own game inside, and it's the economy game. You can buy and sell stuff on the auction house, and see if you can buy stuff that's a little cheaper on the auction house and try to improve here and there. But the main purpose of this is to actually make money. That's the main purpose of this tune, and all the money is actually funneled here. Now with Titan, you can see all the gold that's spread out throughout my tunes, and I have a grand total of 7,895 gold on my tunes. I have an extra 5,000 gold. Doesn't show that in on Titan, but I have an extra 5,000 gold in this guild. I think I have another 400 and something gold in my other guild bank, but in the guild banks. So that way I know where my tunes are going to need gold, because with questing and leveling and trying to buy certain things, you will end up spending some gold, and you need to get as much gold as you possibly can. And if a tune needs gold, I got one place to go. I go to Betty Bank. I don't have to go from one tune to the other tune to the other tune to try to collect that gold. All I have to do is go to Betty Bank. She has the gold that the tune needs, and that's her purpose. Her purpose is to make money, and that's what she does. Now, the other way I'm going to be making money is a couple ways. I'm going to make sure I have every profession covered. Now, I do have a second guild. I mean, she's in the guild called Emergency. Okay, Buddy Pally, and she's the guild master. Buddy Pally is the guild master of Brotherhood of the Coin. This is actually my guild. This is a private guild, but this is also where I also level up tunes and stuff like that I want to play. Now, if you belong to a human guild, because the level 90 Buddy Pally that he was in a human guild, and I play with humans. I love playing with humans. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I like to just do it by myself and see what I can do. This way, Buddy Pally is the guild master of this private guild, and the rest of these tunes will be in that guild. And in a guild, you need to have every profession covered, whether it's a human guild or a private guild, because eventually your tune will need access to every profession. And I'll tell you why. You're going to need gems. So you need a jewelry crafter. You're going to need gems for your gear. Because if you buy it from the auction house, it costs you gold. And any extra gems that your jewelry crafter makes, guess what? You can sell on the auction house and make gold. You need a blacksmith. If you're a warrior, or if you're a tank or a DPSer that wears plate, or mail, well, if you're a plate wearer and you're you want your plate make wearers to be a blacksmith, and the reason is, once you get to a certain level in blacksmithing, you can actually, I think it's level 80, you can actually add slots to certain pieces of your gear to add more gem slots. And as a jewelry crafter, you have special gems you can put into that slot. So that's why my paladin, this one here, and Buddy Pally will eventually become a blacksmith jewelry crafter, because that way I get that buff out of that extra gem slot, and because I get those special gems as a jewelry maker, he can put those in. You want an enchanter, and the reason why you want an enchanter is so you can enchant your gear. So you want to make sure that you have an enchanter, and this is what Reverend Buddy is. He is a level 7 priest. He's also a tailorer. Okay, now as a tailorer, he can also make cloaks for all the tombs. So that way they can get the top cloaks, because once you get to a certain level, you need to help get your gear up, and the tailorer can give you the top cloaks that you possibly need as you're leveling up, and once you get to the top things, and once he's maxed out his skills in tailoring, he can actually make some of the finer cloaks for you. And as he's leveling up, the greens that he makes, he can disenchant for his enchanter skills. And same thing with Buddy Pally, the greens that he makes with his armor, he can send to Reverend Buddy and disenchant. And my leather bud, the greens that he makes, he can send to disenchant, to Reverend Buddy to disenchant, because this way he can do enchanting, and all he has to do is put it on a scroll and send it out to the tomb that needs that enchant. So that's why you always need an enchanter. Okay, you need an inscriptionist, and the reason why you need an inscriptionist is to make glyphs. As the higher you go, the more expensive the glyphs become, and the higher the level you get, the more expensive the glyphs come. And if you have an inscriptionist in your guild, guess what? You have somebody that can make your own glyphs. Now, when I'm leveling up, when I'm playing on any server, I might have one tune that's in one guild, but I might have different guilds set up. And this is why I have my own. I have somebody who makes glyphs. He's also doing herbalism, because he gets a buff out of that, because he is a shaman. Okay. The next thing is, you want at least one tune that is a leather worker, and this is Leather Bud. He's going to be a skinner / leather worker, and the reason why he's a leather worker is because they actually make an armor buff that you can add to your armor that will actually increase the strength of your armor, or add armor points to your armor, which makes you stronger, the armor stronger. And that's one thing that you want. So you definitely need a leather worker. Also, leather workers also make certain cloaks that you need for certain characters. So you also want, he can also make certain type of cloaks. Now, between the tailorer and the leather worker, they also make bags. from enchanting bags to leather bags to mining bags to different slots bags to carry your supplies. So you definitely want that, because you can turn around and you're running low on gold, make a couple bags between your teller and your leather worker, and sell them send them to your banker tune, put them on the auction house, and you got gold coming in. Because you gotta realize something: if you can make it, it's a lot cheaper than trying to buy it and sell it. Buying some cheap ones on the auction house and then turn around and sell them at a higher price. If you can make it, it's a lot cheaper to make it than buying it from the auction house. So that way you got bags for your tunes, and you got bags you can sell to other people on the auction house. So you got that. One thing, I always will have an engineer. Now, my engineers will always be will also be miners, because there's certain things that once an engineer gets to a certain level, when they mine, they get elements from mining, and they get certain elements from different mines, which elements are needed in blacksmithing, leatherworking, tailoring, and stuff like that on the higher levels. So you always want one engineer, and once he gets his leveling skills up, he will become my main miner, and he'll be supplying all my mining supplies to Buddy Pally once I get him leveled up. Because he's an engineer, he gets buff for mining, and because he's a little one, he also gets buff for being an engineer. And there's some stuff that engineers need to make. Now, there's not a lot of stuff that engineers make, but there's certain parts, especially if you're blacksmithing, that you need, that you can only either have to buy them from the auction house. Excuse me. You buy from the auction house, or your engineer can make for you. And like I said, it's always cheaper for your engineer to make than it is to buy from the auction house. So you always want to make sure you got at least one engineer in your guild or on your farmers list. And this is Potmaker. Now, Potmaker does not make pot, but he does collect herbs. He's going to be an herbalist, and he's also going to make pots of healing pots, mana pots, and other potions along that will help go up. So you always want to make sure you got an alchemist in your guild to help make your pots, your healing pots and stuff like that, especially if you're a raiding guild or a hardcore dungeon guild or a PvP guild. You always need your healing pots and the other pots that give you certain buffs that will last a certain period of time. You need at least one one alchemist in your guild to make all this stuff for you. And because I'm in my own private guild and I'm making ones for all my tunes, anything extra I can turn around and send to Betty Bank, who's my auctioneer, who can send it up on the auction house, because people in World of Tanks are lazy. So she can actually sell them on the auction for Potmaker, and she receives the gold. And as he's leveling up his skills and he needs gold, all Betty Bank has to do is send him some gold, and we got it done. So that's it. Now, I kind of went over some stuff. This is how I make money in World of Tanks, and it's just I do my farming myself. I try to farm for myself for my characters, so that way I don't have to buy it on the auction house. as I'm leveling up the tunes, the linen that I collect on Buddy Pally, once he's maxed out his first aid, he can send all the extra linen to Reverend Buddy. And that's how Reverend Buddy gets his material for his clothes from the other tunes collecting the cloths that they collect as they're leveling up. They can send them to Reverend Buddy, and that will help level him up in his tailoring. I have a miner, so that will help Buddy Pally level up his blacksmithing and jewelry crafting once he gets jewelry crafting, which I might go ahead and drop jewelry craft since I do have a miner. I might try to drop jewelry mining on Buddy Pally and have him start learning jewelry crafting from the beginning, because that way he can make his own necklaces and rings along with gems once he gets to a certain level. Sorry guys, allergies are actually bugging me bad. And I also have my own leather worker, my own enchanter. I mean, I got every profession covered, so I don't have to go far. I don't have to go to the auction house and buy it. And I got a miner, I got a skinner, and I got a herbalist to go make for my gathering. Then I got my other professions, my non-gathering professions covered, because I got my gathering professions covered. And this way it will save me money. Now, there are times where I will have to buy on the auction house. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. But that's why I have my auctioneer, my bank tune. So that way she can buy the stuff, have the gold to buy the stuff that I need on the auction house. I mean, there's going to be plans I'm going to need to buy on the auction house to help level up my skills, because I'm not going to be doing much dungeon, and some of them are available in dungeon, and then they turn around and sell them on the auction house. And depending on what those are, depending on how high the price is. So I still need to buy stuff from the auction house for my tunes, but the majority of the stuff I get, I can make myself, which saves me gold from buying it on the auction house. And any extra that I make, I can turn around and sell, because there's a lot of lazy people in World of Warcraft, and I can sell stuff on the auction house and not worry about the gold that I need for my characters, because I have that bank tune and I have a central location. Now, I'm hoping to grow these two guilds up with gold in them to help do that. But this is the basis of it. You can make a lot of gold by buying low and selling high on the auction house, but it takes a unique skill, and you have to know when to buy and when to sell. But if you got every profession covered and you're leveling up those professions, you can sell it on the auction house, guys, and just make the gold. Just send it to your auctioneer, and she puts it on the auction, and boom, she's making gold. You don't have to worry about doing that buy low, sell high on the auction house. Now, I'll still be doing that if I see some items that I'm putting up on the auction house that are way low, because somebody screwed up on their auctions, or somebody don't know how the auction house works, and start selling stuff a little higher. I might try to be monopolizing in one section where I don't see a lot of people putting a lot of stuff on, but people need it. So I might drive up the price a little bit more and make more gold. But anything that you can make is cheaper than trying to buy it on the auction house. And if you can sell it on the auction house, you'll still make profit on it. So that's how you want to make gold in World of Warcraft. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please like us on YouTube. If you have a friend, share this video with your friends. And if you haven't done, subscribe to my channel. And if you've got any comments, just leave them down below. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and you all have a good day.